The air doesn't just smell wrong, it tastes metallic. You breathe that. You live in that. The collapse wasn't sudden. It was chemical. We are not talking about zombies or a power outage. We are talking about a world where every single resource is a potential killer. It's a slow-motion extinction event, and you've got 100 days to prove chemistry is your new religion. Your expensive filtered water bottle is a placebo. Your MREs are finite. Your optimism is lethal. Forget the movies. This environment is harsh because it's inherently toxic. It's not the wasteland that kills you, it's the microscopic particulate matter floating in the dust. It's the cadmium leaching into the groundwater. It's the quick, sharp realization that the wilderness you romanticized is now actively trying to rot your organs. Most preppers focus on volume. We focus on purity. In a poisoned world, the only currency that matters is uncontaminated H2O and calories that won't give you liver failure by day 50. Your first day is already over. Did you track your exposure? Did you monitor the wind direction knowing it carries invisible threats? Probably not. Most people fail before they take their first poison drink. They die thirsty, clutching useless gear. That stops now. Here's the thing about surviving 100 days in a toxic, resource-starved environment. It demands intellectual superiority, not brute strength. Survival is a scientific discipline, stripped of sentimentality. We dismissed the myths immediately. Boiling water kills pathogens, yes. It concentrates heavy metals, industrial solvents, and radioactive isotopes. Boiling contaminated water is a rapid path to poisoning yourself. Understand the difference between microbiological threat and chemical threat. One is biological warfare, the other is thermodynamic reality. Your priority is clean water, always. Method 1, the only method that reliably works against chemical and radiological contamination, is distillation, not some fancy commercial unit. We're talking low-tech, high-yield solar stills. Dig a deep hole, place a clean collection container in the center. Line the pit with a waterproof barrier, ideally black plastic, to maximize thermal absorption. Place contaminated water or contaminated soil around the container under the plastic. Seal the plastic dome, weighed down by a rock centered directly over your collection cup. The sun evaporates the water, leaving everything else behind. Salts, heavy metals, petroleum, fallout. The pure vapor condenses on the underside of the plastic and drips into your container. It's slow, agonizingly slow, but it yields purity. Your output will be minimal, maybe 1 liter per day per properly built still. This forces conservation. Never drink distilled water exclusively long-term. It strips essential electrolytes. Once distilled, you must introduce trace minerals, usually by dropping a tiny purified rock or a pinch of highly filtered ash back into the water before consumption. This is complex chemistry, non-negotiable. Now for a method 2, the MacGyver filter array. If you cannot distill, you filter. But standard survival filters are useless against dissolved toxins. We build a multi-stage adsorption tower. Stage 1, coarse sand and gravel to remove large particulates. Stage 2, fine sand and pulverized clean cloth. Stage 3, activated charcoal. This is the critical stage, not burnt wood from a campfire. That is biochar, it helps, but true activated carbon has a massive surface area capable of absorbing organic chemical contaminants. If you cannot find commercial carbon, you must refine your own. Burn hardwoods in an enclosed space with minimal oxygen. Quench it quickly. Crush the resultant charcoal to a fine powder. Stage 4, zeolite. Zeolite is a naturally occurring mineral that acts as an ion exchanger. It traps certain heavy metals, particularly lead and cadmium, by swapping out non-toxic ions. Locating or manufacturing zeolite is an advanced tactic, but finding natural deposits near volcanic ash or sedimentary layers is possible. This filter array is still a gamble. It must be replaced weekly. It only buys you time until you can distill. Food is the next challenge. Biomagnification is the silent killer here. The poison concentrates as it moves up the food chain. The grass absorbs trace toxins. The rabbit eats the grass and concentrates them tenfold. The coyote eats the rabbit and concentrates them tenfold again. Never, under any circumstances, hunt or consume large predators. Their meat is a toxic reservoir. Focus on fast-replicating low-chain protein sources. Insects, small fish if the water source is absolutely proven pure, and opportunistic scavenging of clean, sealed goods. Foraging is a death sentence unless you have PhD-level botanical knowledge and a clear understanding of the local soil chemistry pre-collapse. Certain fungi and berries are bioindicators. They absorb toxins differently. Knowing which ones are safe is esoteric knowledge, and guessing is suicide. Stick to sealed containers, canned goods, vacuum-sealed items. Check them meticulously for pinholes, rust, or swelling. Swelling means microbial contamination, still bad, but better than chemical. Food scarcity breeds desperation. Desperation makes people sloppy. Sloppiness means drinking runoff, eating tainted meat, and dying slowly from internal rot. Now let's discuss advanced tactics. Identifying hot zones without instrumentation is necessary. Radiation is invisible, but its effect is not. Look for asymmetrical kill zones in vegetation. Healthy forest abruptly transitioning to bare earth in an unnatural circle or plume shape. Look for strange metallic mineral deposits near water sources. Highly contaminated water sometimes exhibits an unusual oily sheen or iridescent surface film, even without visible crude oil. Psychological warfare is the most critical survival tool after distillation. Your greatest resource is often what others discard. Contaminated zones become deterrents. People avoid the visible poison. But if you have the proper respiratory protection and decontamination protocol, temporarily scavenging a highly contaminated, recently abandoned warehouse or bunker might yield clean, sealed resources that others overlooked. This is high risk, high reward. Treat every incursion into a hot zone as a Level 3 biohazard event. Full encapsulation if possible. If not, heavy dust masks, goggles, and total body covering. Decontamination starts immediately upon exit. Brush all clothing vigorously. Rotate your contaminated clothes out of your immediate shelter. Seal them in plastic bags far away. Never bring the outside world inside your sanctuary. If you're exposed to highly toxic dust or aerosols, a rigorous rinse with filtered, distilled water is essential, regardless of how precious that water is. Clean skin buys you days. Contaminated skin buys you nothing but a slow, blistering death. Maintenance is the difference between day 100 and day 10. The invisible killers are the chronic threat. Carbon monoxide. If you must use combustion for heat or cooking, venting must be absolute. Sealed structures breed CO, which is odorless, tasteless, and fast-acting. Infection from minor wounds. Toxic environments weaken the immune system. A simple cut turns into septic shock because your body is already fighting an internal chemical war. Keep wounds sterile, dry, and immediately sealed. If antibiotics are available, hoard them like gold. Use them sparingly only when infection is undeniable. Nutrition decay is inevitable. Even if your calories are clean, they will be monotonous. Scurvy, anemia, and neurological damage are long-term threats. Supplementation is mandatory. Locate vitamin caches, especially vitamin C and B complexes. If resources are truly scarce, learn to sprout wild grains or legumes in a contained, clean environment. Sprouting dramatically increases nutritional density and provides crucial fresh enzymes. It minimizes exposure risk compared to foraging. Your psychological state is a resource that depletes quickly. Paranoia is justified, but panic is not. Establish a strict routine. Test your water religiously. Maintain your stills. Never deviate from the decontamination protocol. 100 days is not a sprint. It's a siege. Your shelter must be airtight or as close as possible to filter out toxic dust. Use dense material and multiple layers of cloth or plastic over openings. Air filtration, even rudimentary, is crucial for sleep. Sleep deprivation combined with toxic exposure accelerates neurological breakdown. Remember the core philosophy. You cannot fight the poison directly. You can only isolate yourself from it and neutralize its effects on your immediate resources. The landscape is lethal. Your mind is your only weapon. You distilled your water. You sourced your food from sealed caches. You tracked the wind and avoided the plumes. You followed the chemistry, not the instinct. Day 100 arrives. You are alive, not because you were lucky, but because you were intelligent. Welcome to the new world. You won.